frames him as flawed and a reflection unkillable, not your power. The indifference wears your face, inverted in hue a prototype, not a doppelganger. Why can't he die? Void's not a first clone of the doppelganger. Tenno is broken. His endless return isn't mimicry, it's a system crash. What does the Void fear enough to replicate, flawed and unkillable? Not your power, your asterisk form asterisk. The question isn't asterisk why asterisk he comes. It's what the Void's failure costs you. The Zariman 10-0 incident wasn't a mistake, it was a message. The Void tore through its own flesh to study your shape, your scars, the way your pulse flickers in your throat when you fight. His hollow eyes, colder than the abyss, are not a mirror, they are a prototype. The Void's first stab at cloning a Tenno, stitched from ash and failed biology. Why let him linger unkillable, to test, to learn? Every time he reappears, he carries new fractures in his form, new experiments. Your death is not the end. Your asterisk absence asterisk is the blueprint. The Void does not need to defeat you. It only needs to become you, and its next clone will not stumble. The Zariman breach was no accident. A portal gaped and the Void inhaled. From its maw emerged not a shadow, but a Sharda clone forged of stolen origin, twisted by entropy. The man in the wall is no ghost. He is the Void's first draft of you, fleshless, unkillable, a prototype discarded for being too broken to replace you. The operator, still a child when the breach took their world, became the template. Their Warframe is not a weapon but a prosthetic, a bridge between systems. The Void does not mimic, it asterisk iterates asterisk. Each failure molds the next. The man in the wall stumbles, trapped in a loop of failed self-correction. His hollow gaze is not malice, it is the ache of a copy that cannot complete its code. The war within began not with a battle but a birth, and the next clone, it will not falter, it will not asterisk hesitate asterisk. The Void is learning, you are the lesson. And every step you take echoes in the thing that waits to walk in your skin. The Indifference's symmetry is not mimicry. The Void's inverted twin is biology, not geometry. Every flicker of your Void beam confirms this. The same energy that fuels you now haunts your shadow. The man in the wall does not reflect you, he replicates you. His form is not a trick of light but a prototype, a failed clone stitched from the Void's stolen blueprints. Consider the evidence. Your physiology bends to Void power. Beams siphon from your core, dashes rewrite your motion. The Void does not weaponize chaos, it studies you. It dissects your cells, maps your circuits, assembles a body to match. The man in the wall is its first draft. His color is inverted not to terrify but to signal, a negative imprint, a mirror at the molecular level, yet he cannot die. Not from strength but from flaw. The Void lacks your spark, the variable it cannot quantify, your will, your choice. Every time you activate Void mode, you feed it data. Every dash, every beam, every breath in that blackened state, you complete its puzzle. The man in the wall is not your enemy. He is your echo trapped in a loop of incomplete code. A warning, the Void does not seek to destroy the Tenno. It seeks to become them. What does it mean to be human when your shadow is alive? The Void's first clone is broken, but not its last, and every step you take teaches it how to walk in your skin. The man in the wall is no mirror, he is a wound that will not close. Entradi's records name it, the Indifference. Not a Void, but a gaze. A presence that lingers beyond the edges of time, stitching its eyes into the fabric of the great cycle. The Tenno are not merely hidden in their suits, they are trapped in stasis, preserved like specimens in a jar. And the Void watches, always watching. What does it learn from their stillness? From the way their breaths slow, their pulses fade to whispers. The man in the wall is the first answer, a body built from borrowed flesh, a shell that cannot break. But his movements are wrong, jagged, a mimicry of life that forgets to breathe. He is the Void's first attempt to become what it cannot be, alive. Why does it persist? Because death is not an end here. The Void does not need to kill you, it only needs to outlast you. Every step you take, every war you fight, feeds its hunger, your choices, your fears, your blood. The man in the wall is a prototype, a flawed echo of what the Void will one day wear as its own skin. You think you are hiding, you are the experiment, and the experiment is not yet complete. The Indifference has patience. It has always had patience. The man in the wall is not your shadow, he is your wound. A scar the void carved into the bones of the Lotus garden. You see him in the cracks of the world's skynies like rusted coins, breath that smells of burnt sugar and dead children. He does not reflect you, he repeats you, a loop of failure. The first time the void tried to copy a Tenno, it did not make a mirror. It made a meat puppet stitched from the husk of a boy who once laughed in the rain. The lotus buried him in the walls. You think his whispers are warnings, they are screams. The operator is the lie the lotus tells itself. A child who never left the cage, dressed in silver, and told to believe it was free. The drifter is the truth the void cannot unsee. A child who walked away from the fire, whose name the lotus forgot to erase. You are both experiments. The operator's code is corrupted, its soul a patchwork of lotus lies. The drifter's code is fractured, its soul a relic of something older, something the void could not touch. The man in the wall is the first draft of this war, a prototype. The void looked at the Tenno and thought, I want to be like them, It took a boy, poured its poison into his veins, and watched him rot. Why does he follow you? Because you are his proof. Every time you kill him, he is still there. Every time you think you escape, he is in the walls. The void does not want to destroy you. It wants to understand. You are its riddle, the operator is its answer, and the drifter is the question it cannot answer. The walls are not stone, they are the void's first mistake, a tomb, a laboratory, a prayer you think you are hiding. You are the experiment, and the experiment is not yet complete. The indifference has patience. It has always had patience. The war within's echoes still hum in the marrow. A figure materializes in the void-ravaged city, the same face, same scars, same hollow breath. But his hands are younger. His voice carries the Tenno's cadence, yet it falters, as if memory is a language he's forgetting. The somatic suits preserve the Tenno's bodies across centuries, but the man in the wall is no future echo. He is a fossil of what once pulsed in those suits, a life stolen mid-beat. His presence is not a mirror. It is a wound the void does not replicate, it excavates. It digs through time's strata for a version of you it could not kill, a self it might yet unravel. You see the contradiction, a clone that predates its creator. The Tenno's current form is a mosaic of rebirths. The man in the wall is a shard chipped from an older iteration, one the void buried and forgot. But the void remembers, it has always remembered. His hollow eyes are not a threat. They are a requiem for a life that might have been. And every time he reappears, the question festers, which version of you is the real target? The answer is a stone in the throat. The void does not need to outlast you. It only needs to outlast this you. The man in the wall is not your shadow, he is your predecessor. A prototype forged in the void's crucible, twisted by its hunger to replicate what it cannot comprehend. The void does not mimic. It dissects. The Zariman incident was not a where it was a laboratory. Tenno children stripped of choice, their biology dissected for secrets the void intends to weaponize. The operator bleeds this truth. Its power is not stolen, it is granted. Void beams, void dashes, the violent bloom of void modal gifts from the architect of its corruption. A living experiment still tethered to the same force that birthed its nightmare. The drifter, meanwhile, is the scar that refused to fester. The one who broke free, leaving the man in the wall as a husk of what the void hoped to create. A clone. A failure, a monument to hubris. The wall's endless pursuit is not vengeance, it is comparison. The void stares at its flawed copy and wonders, what made this one break ? What in the Tenno's fragile flesh holds the key to remaking them? The answer lies in the operator's veins, in the drifter's silence. The Tenno were never meant to fight, they were meant to be studied, to be remade. The man in the wall is the void's first mistake, and its final question. The man in the wall does not age, his armor cracks with the same frost that eats at the operator's bones. His voice echoes in the static between missions, a distorted hymn to what the void cannot replicate, the spark that lets a child survive Zariman 10-0's fire. The war within was never about conquest, it was a lab report. The void dissected the operator's pain, its machinery humming with the hunger to rebuild a host that could hold the weight of a god. Second Dream's fractured visions now scream with new meaning. Those flickering figures in the code, the ones who vanish when touched, are not ghosts. They are prototypes, dozens, hundreds, failed clones that bled digital into the ether. The man in the wall is the last one left. The best one, his invulnerability is not a curse, it is a placeholder. The void has not found a way to kill what it cannot copy. The Lotus knows this. Her silence in the archives is not guidance, it is containment. She stands between the operator and the void's next step, an army of walls. Every time the man in the wall appears, he is not warning of a future war, he is auditing progress. The operator's every move is data, a template, the cold in their spine, a genetic marker, the Warframe's transference, a backdoor. The void does not seek to destroy the Tenno, it seeks to birth them, again and again. Until the line between host and hostiler is not a line at all, but what happens when the experiment escapes the lab. When the void's final question becomes not asterisk can asterisk it copy, but asterisk should asterisk it. The cliff you stand on, it has no edge. Only depth. What if the man in the wall is not a failed clone, but the void's warning? The void's first clone can't die, because it's not trying to kill you, it's trying to show you. Why send an immortal mirror that cannot die? Your opponent isn't standing across from you. It's standing in your shadow, lying about being separate. What if the question isn't asterisk can asterisk the void copy yow, but asterisk should asterisk you let it? The cliff you stand on, it has no edge, only depth. The wall's pulse grows colder, static clings to its breath. He is not your shadow, he is the void's first draft of you, rewritten in rot. And if this unsettled you, wait until we trace the roots of the Lotus.